Hello, welcome to my bookshelf, plus pop figures and Lego sets, and board games. This is, like I said, my bookshelf. Is this a new set? No, it's not. But it is where I will be filming all of my book reviews. Because that's right, we're starting book reviews. Because I wanted to make a review, and I'm not done with Alien Isolation yet, and I'm not starting Predator until I finish Alien Isolation. I mean, I wrote the script for Predator, I watched it again, but the review will not be done until my review of Alien Isolation, because then I'll do Predator, Predator 2, Predators, The Predator, Predator Hunting Grounds, and then AVP Requiem. Then we're done. But during all this, like I said, I want to do more video game reviews, which I'm working on. Sort of, once I finish Hunting Grounds, I'll play a lot more different video games. But I also want to do book reviews. And I have a lot of books. And I didn't know where to start. So I decided to start with, Star Wars. Because The High Republic will be coming out, well, it was supposed to come out this year, but it's coming out in January of next year. So, that gives me more time to read. So I'll be reviewing all the canon novels in the Star Wars universe. No Legends. I will not be doing Legends. Might do Legends someday, but not that day. It's not now. And I'll be going in the chronological order. Got the timeline on my phone. Got the books. And of course, the first, until High Republic comes out, the first is Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost, which was written by Kevin Scott. Kevin. It started as an audio drama, like on Audible and all those audiobook sites. It was just an audio drama, that's all it was. But then it turned into but then it was released out into the public, got a physical copy. And basically, what it was they just, did the script, which actually I really liked. Because while the book is, 400 pages, that's not a big deal for me. I left long books, love them, because that's always the ones where you get the juicy world-building details. But it was able to tell a lengthy and good story and make it a quick read. Scripts are way easier to read. Cursed Child, that was a bad book, but it was easy to read. Fantastic Beasts, the screenplay, based on the good Fantastic Beasts movie, easy to read. Crimes of Grindelwald, bad movie, bad script, easy to read. Screenplays and scripts are always easier to read. They're much quicker to go through, I feel. I don't know if anyone else feels like it. I can get through a normal book pretty quick, but I can always get through a screenplay or a script way faster. And this proved my point. Like I said, it's 450-something pages, and I got done with this book in no time. And what did I think of it? I thought it was really good. Dooku was never a character I liked that much. I always thought he was a bland character. Clone Wars fleshed him out a little bit. I think his apprentice, Asajj Ventress, was way more interesting. She even got her own story, Dark Disciple, which we'll talk about more when that comes. But now, they gave him a story. A reason why he left. Because it wasn't just evilness. He actually left of his own freedom. And then later in his life did he fall to the dark side. And you learn all this stuff in the book. You learn about friendships he had with people like Sifo Dyas, who will play major roles in the future of Star Wars. How his apprenticeship with Rael was his first Padawan, because he had Padawan before Qui-Gon, his most famous Padawan. You get to see a lot of famous Star Wars characters, and you get to see famous Star Wars places, a lot of Easter eggs and stuff. But like I said, it just told a very compelling tale about, like I said, one of the more less interesting Star Wars characters. And I'm very happy that it did that. But it's also not just about Dooku, because it goes from story flips from past to present a couple times, because it's also a story about Asajj Ventress. I'd say her thing probably takes place before Attack of the Clones. That sounds about right, because there's no mention of the Clone Wars yet or anything. So I'd say, and she's just learning from Dooku pretty much, so I'd say it takes place before Attack of the Clones. Her story, and then Count's story takes place before Phantom Menace, obviously. This is the most interesting Asajj Ventress story. I think the Night Sister story arc in Clone Wars is really interesting, and of course Dark Disciple, which, like I said, I'll review when I get to it. But it is still neat to, because this one delves much more into her past than any of the other stories. Dark Disciple just filled in a few blanks of what happened to her. This delves deep into her past and Dooku's past, which I honestly didn't expect. I knew we would get Asajj, but I didn't think we'd get that deep of a delve into her past, and I think it worked. I do think I was more invested by Dooku's story than anyone else, than Asajj, but I still really liked her story. The beginning sort of is a slow burn, but in a little bit, it picks up the pace, and I didn't want to put it down. I was very much invested. Cavan Scott did an amazing job writing. I think Dooku Jedi Lost is one of the most interesting character sort of personal stories that we've gotten for Star Wars, and like I feel like more, if there's ever a character that that isn't popular but has potential to be, but has a good story that's untold, I feel like they should do this again. There's a Dr. Aphra audio drama who's a character from the comics. I don't know if that'll get a physical release or not. I hope it does so I can review it. But if it does, it might be a little bit, because this took a little bit to get its physical release. So who knows. But that is pretty much all I have to say. I'm going to give Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost a 9 out of 10. I'll be doing out of 10 games and episodes. If you are a fan of Star Wars and just a Count Dooku fan, I would recommend reading this book. It's really interesting. Like I said, it seems long, but it's pretty short because of the screenplay aspect. So yeah, that's the start of my book reviews. The next one will be Star Wars Master and Apprentice, which was really kind of coincided with this because it was a story about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, which also takes place for Phantom Menace. So make sure to like and subscribe. If you have read Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost, tell me what you thought in the comments below. Did you think it was interesting? Did you listen to the audiobook version? I don't know. But like I said, if you like this video, like and subscribe. This is Jordan from Jordan Reviews, signing off.